What's going on, mother truckers? Welcome to the Asian Mai Show. So today's subscriber question is, hey Asian Mai, I have $5,000 and I want to buy a truck, but people keep on hating and saying that's too old of a truck. Is it possible to make money with the truck, especially an old truck like that? So today we are going to answer that question for you. But here's a big disclaimer, okay? For all the people out there, so you know it right now. If you're gonna go buy an old truck, you better know how to work on it or have a mechanic that will basically do it for almost free. Because if not, this thing could break down a lot and it could be more headache than it's worth. So, big disclaimer. If you're gonna buy a cheaper truck, it's gonna have big problems. So know how to work on the truck. With that said, we're gonna talk to my guy here, who basically is successful with this strategy of buying older trucks. And he actually bought one for $1,200 and has made it work. So let's get into this video. Let's go.
Dude, so if we go back to that question where my man says $5,000, is that enough? Out of your 8 trucks that you own now, what was the cheapest one that you've ever bought?
$1,200 bucks.
$1,200?
$1,200.
So I'm gonna hate already, Sean. At $1,200, that thing must have broken down a lot. Or what? How much money do you have to put into it to actually get it where it needs to be? You know what I'm saying?
When I first got the truck, well, first of all, it's a Freightliner FL70 and single axle day cab. When I first got it, they thought it had a blown motor, when it turned out that it was just a fuel pump.
Wow.
Changed the fuel pump out, got it running, did the brakes on it, and new shoes, drums, new tires, did an oil sample on the engine.
Right.
Put a driver in it.
Dang. So, okay.
I got everything for under $3,000.
So, all right.
What's going on, mother truckers? Trucker Style Sean here. 29 years old. I own 8 trucks outright. This is how I got there.
Bash people, but what's the experience? Let the people know.
Experience before you decide on your truck, get an oil sample. Don't sign a contract until you get an oil sample so you know how healthy that motor really is.
What's an oil sample, man?
Oil sample, you go right through the dipstick tube, get a little bit of suction. You only need about 5 milliliters of oil. You send it out to a lab, and they'll send you back if there's any contaminants, whether it be if you have excessive blow-by where there's fuel in the oil, or if there's coolant mixing with the oil, or how much soot is actually being mixed in the oil, so it can determine how well that last person actually kept up on their maintenance on their vehicle.
Wow. So how much does that oil sample cost for all the mother truckers to know?
About 80 bucks.
80 bucks.
80 bucks.
You need to jump on Sean's channel to know. I'm not even going to tell you guys where to get that. Jump on his channel to know that. If I'm a new truck driver, or no, let me restate that. If I'm a company driver and I have a few year experience and I'm ready to start my own fleet, give me the bullet points in order of what I would have to do to get that done.
Okay. First step, if you're currently working for a company and you're happy with them and you want to stay over the road, find out how their owner-operator program is, if they offer it. Check out the pay, their fuel cards, fuel statements, if they have a maintenance program, and use that to your advantage. If they'll help you fix maintenance costs, you don't have to have as much starting off. If they'll help you out with the fuel at first, you don't have to have as much starting off. You can put that extra money in your bank for any maintenance or anything that were to come up, because things come up every week.
Cool.
Trucks are designed to run hard, but mechanical things always wear down. You're always going to have to repair something, so you always got to take that into consideration. My number one rule for every truck you have at least $25,000 set aside. Once you get to that point and everything's running smooth, that way if your truck goes down and it's the worst possible scenario, you have the money to buy another truck outright, get it on the road, and still have a maintenance fund in reserve.
Wow, so First step, check out the company if you're happy with it.
Yep.
If it has an owner-operator program.
Yep.
Second step, what do we do?
Second step, you start looking for a truck. Make sure you have at least, say, $2,000 set aside right at the beginning on top of what you're going to use as a down payment, because you got to do your 2290, you got to get tags. If you're going to run out of state, you got to get your IRP, your IFTA, certain things like that. Talk to that company and find out if they supply you with your plates and permits. If they supply with your plates and permits, you don't have to have that up front because it's already being provided for you, or if they can finance it at first and take it out of your settlements.
Dope. So, step 3, what do we do?
Sign on that truck.
So sign on that truck. At this
Find
point,
a good truck after you get your oil sample.
right? Oil sample, people.
Oil sample's number one. Make sure
Right.
you're buying a healthy engine.
Right. Okay. So at this point, do we already have our DOT number as a business? Do we get an LLC?
Nope.
What are we doing?
At that point, run with another company. That way you can learn on how to be a business owner. Because all of a sudden you went from a company driver to an owner-operator, and all of a sudden your checks are 3 to 5 times the rate they were before. Most people don't know how to go about that, and they want to start flaunting their money. Don't do that. Put it in the bank. There's something that's going to happen eventually. Be prepared for it.
I hear you. So at the end of this, any last tips for people that want to basically get into trucking, own 8 trucks paid off? I don't care what any of you say. I know there's going to be comments that say, oh, but he has an old truck, it's going to break down. Well, guess what? This gentleman right here knows how to work, and he does work on his own trucks. Inside and out fully?
I've done full end frames on my own trucks at the house. Done pistons, I've done injectors. I have my own software. All of my trucks have Cummins motors, so I have the Insight software. $5,000 well worth it when you have multiple trucks.
Hey, and how long did it take for you to pay off all the trucks, or do you buy them straight cash and you start?
I financed my first 3 trucks. Did the minimum payments, put about 3 payments away per truck per month to be able to buy the other trucks outright. So basically, have 3 trucks that were financed. I only got the second truck when this truck was just about paid off, and I was less than $5,000 owed on this truck. Then I got my second truck, did the same thing, doubled up on payments on that second truck, got the third truck, so I had 3 trucks basically paying off 1 truck. So going from there, the extra money I had set aside, then I would buy other trucks outright for a cheaper price. That's when I started getting into single axles, because I realized majority of the freight I'm hauling is light freight and less than 65,000 pounds gross weight. So that's all I truly needed was a single axle, which is cheaper on registration. It's cheaper for tolls if you're taking toll roads, and less rotating mass, less things to go wrong, less tires that you got to replace every time.
I hear you.
So instead of buying an extra 8 drive tires, you only have to replace 4 at the rear. You got 4 extra ones just sitting at the house.
No, I hear that. So, be honest with me here. Is this a strategy for the local game, or can this strategy work for OTR as well?
You could use this for OTR, regional, local. I choose local just because I like my marriage.
No, I hear you. So, if you don't have, if you're a guy like me, where I don't have that much mechanic skills, can you still get this done?
Oh, yeah.
What's the tip with that?
Find a good mechanic.
I heard that.
Get a good relationship with him. Find out if we'll do work under the table.
No, I hear you. No, that makes total sense.